Hi everybody, I'm Jack the Rambling Raconteur, and I'm here with an announcement. I've never done one of these announcement videos before. I haven't seen this event or an analogous event after spending some time researching and doing different searches. And what I'm thinking is, for the month of August, it might be fun to do something that I'll call Augustusalong. And it'll just be a read-along of one book set in Roman history or Roman literature. And I thought of a couple of different ideas. I kind of thought, okay, it might be fun to do some poetry. There's Virgil, Ovid, Horace. There's a great number. You have different poets a little bit later on, like Lucan. So there's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of Roman history, Livy, Tacitus. And as I was just kind of thinking through it, there's great fiction. I, Claudius by Robert Graves, one of my all-time favorite books. There's more popular recent histories, but I think the book that I'd like to do a read-along of, and it's a book I was going to read anyways, and I thought maybe I could turn into a read-along if anybody's interested, is The 12 Caesars, or The Lives of the 12 Caesars by Suetonius. It's an outstanding book. It's nonfiction. It's a history, but it's a history that's very funny and interesting and gossipy. That's kind of how, when I think of Suetonius, I think of him as on the more gossipy side of history, not quite as much as Procopius with his infamous secret history, but much more so than some of the historians or biographers from the classical world who are interested in sort of ethical teachings from history or biography. And I think of sort of Plutarch and even Tacitus to a certain extent in that group. And then you sort of have Livy and Herodotus, where they're looking at history almost as telling stories. And then you have the more gossipy, I don't want to say interesting, but human comedy, human tragedy side of history with Suetonius. So if anybody's interested, by all means, I'm going to, in just a moment, share a sort of outline schedule of how we could read through this. I want to start off by saying I'm not an expert. I don't read. I have about a 6 or 7 year old's understanding of Spanish, and I have maybe a 4-year-old's understanding of Latin. So I don't read Latin. I'm not a Latinist. I could not read this without it being translated. I'm not an expert. I've taken some courses in the classics when I was in college many years ago. I've read a number of classics, but I can't pretend to be an expert. What this would be is more, people who are experts could join in and help me learn more. But I have read this book before. It's enjoyable. It reads very easily. I found a couple of different links to free text versions that others could access if you don't have a copy. This is the Penguin Classics translation by Robert Graves, which is outstanding. And so I'm just going to call it Augustusalong. It's a read-along. Caesar Augustus pops up in this book. He's chapter 2. And so in terms of the schedule, I was thinking that I'll just kind of start with, I won't start with August 1st, but August 8th, it would be the first two chapters, Julius Caesar and Augustus. August 15th, then, it would be, and the reason for that is those two sort of transform, we get the transformation from the Roman Republic after a whole almost century of civil war into the Roman Empire by the end of Augustus's reign. And then, so that'd be August 8th. August 15th will be the next three, so Tiberius, Caligula, and Claudius, in part because they very much are under the shadow of Augustus and are sort of the heart of the Julio-Claudian dynasty that we're familiar with. And then August 22nd, we get Nero, who's the last of the Julio-Claudian emperors, and then the three who follow him the year after his death. So Galba, Otho, and Vitellius. So those four would be August 22nd. And then August 29th, we'll do the three Flavians, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. So the couple of them, it's about 100 pages per week. Some of them, it's closer to 60 pages per week. But I thought they broke out kind of well to start with, the two who we have the months of July and August for, and then to kind of break out the Julio-Claudians outside of Nero, who's sort of his own world unto himself. Nero, and then the three emperors who all reign within the same year, and then end with the three Flavian emperors. So I'll plan to post those videos. If you would like to join along and just comment, by all means. If you want to take this this hashtag and run with it in your own direction by all means. I'm looking at, I'm reading this to remember more some details I've forgotten and kind of apply it, to just, I always find applying history to the present is imperfect, but you can learn a lot. And so I'm just looking to learn. Feel free to comment. If you want to reach out about through Voxer or something, you can. So this is Augustusalong 2020. So it might just be Jack. Thank you, everyone.